is
There
it
we go.
telling me the chat room? Coolio. Okay, I'm gonna play like my
There we
normal
go.
role of not knowing shit about the game because the only time I've seen anything Hitman has been with Orchid.
Okay.
I mean, you're not that. It's not bad. That's pretty much. I mean, we're gonna talk about homing briefcases, so.
Yeah.
Killing guys in the bushes.
No,
much
on jet skis. On jet skis.
On jet skis.
It's one of the best clips ever.
This is pretty much how you play the game.
Yeah.
I mean.
Though I will
didn't
have to.
really,
I do have to give
like,
a shout out to
make
Orchid.
that.
I have to give a shout out to Orchid because someone got a really high score.
I finally played the game right. It only took all 3 games until the last mission to play the game right.
Oh my goodness.
All right, hang on. You guys are going to get to meet Nugget real quick.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
Baby.
She's kind of sleepy. Oh, let's go under the cord. There she is.
Baby.
Hi, Anna. Hi, baby.
We're gonna fall
She
over.
is sleepy.
She is super sleepy.
She's got a lot of hair too.
Orchid and Green say hi.
Hi.
We can't see you,
I have baby
Orchid.
stuff for you. What? Why not?
We can't see you, Orchid. Your camera's not on.
What?
Anna's very upset. She wants to see Orchid.
That's weird. I could see Orchid.
I'm right here. Hi.
Do you have her thing shut off?
No.
Yeah, pictures didn't happen.
Hi, my camera's on.
Yeah, I see her perfectly.
Let's see.
She even dressed up for this. Not sure why.
That makes me really sad, because all I see is her profile picture.
Oh, is it not gonna work?
Hang on, let's see.
Can other people see it and just not you?
Yeah, give me a second. Let's see.
I'm checking Twitch.
I can take her so you can do that.
Yeah, she's not. You're not on Twitch on that
she's
either.
You got her. Oh, you got a blowout on there.
My picture is on.
Yep, right there.
Yep.
Well, cool.
Jay, you might need to restart the call then, if you're having
All right,
trouble
give
with
me 2 seconds.
I can hang up too. But my shirt is super uncomfortable. And that was like in the laundry pile.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
It's like the required black top for every symphonic performance.
Yep. Something like that.
All right. Are you able to hear me still?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh my gosh, my subtitles keep turning on.
Why?
I have no idea. Let's see.
What? Why? What? Okay. That's new.
What?
Orchid, can you unmute yourself now?
Did you mute Orchid?
I did. I didn't know you could do that.
We do that in our Teams call. Oh no, I got baby juice. Oh well, forgive me.
There we go. Now I can see her again because she is frozen on my screen.
Yeah, she is frozen on mine. Nope. Wait. She's moving.
Skype is having issues today.
Well,
and you're still muted. Why are you still muted for me? God damn it, Skype.
Orchid, check your input on.
Not on your microphone. There we go. Skype is enhancing your experience.
Fuck you, Skype.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Teams to get. I
thought Teams was supposed to take over everything.
I thought so too, but it did not tell me that I'm not allowed to wear or not allowed to use Skype. So we will use Skype. Oh no, looks like there's a sub hype train going.
Hey, Umbra. Thank you
Oh,
for.
hold on. I can do mine too.
What's up? Umbra, orchids, and chat. T-Dog's here.
Well, I mean, we got a lot of things to announce, but first, let's see. Let me launch Audacity here so that I can record. No, I don't want to install. Go away.
Don't you?
No, I do not. Voice meter, no.
Pens with the going to make
Let's see.
Aaron mad bits today.
Okay, there we go. Yay! Audacity's still working. That's good.
You guys can't hear the lo-fi music in the background, right?
No.
Cool. Just gonna leave it on
Unless
then.
it's good lo-fi music, then you should share.
I mean, is all lo-fi music good, or is I don't know. I'm not super picky with it.
I made a new button on my Stream Deck that just has a folder full of music, and I have one that's called ODST Sad Jazz. It plays 8 hours of the sad jazz music from ODST with like raid music behind it. It's literally just 8 hours of that.
Sad
it's just
jazz.
Yeah, it's the ODST sad jazz music.
Is it like blues, or is it like music from the game that's sad jazz?
It's music. It's the. I'm just gonna send you the link, but
I'm just gonna send you the link.
Throw it. I'm gonna put it in there. There.
Oh, whoa!
Everyone
Pins
has
is gifting subs.
Everyone has it now. I put it in the chat on Twitch.
Yeah, YouTube. Thunder and Rain with Halo 3 ODST. Sad jazz. Okay, yeah, that's totally like.
It's the sad jazz.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Yeah, the entire ODST soundtrack is great sad jazz. Yeah.
Emotionally.
Is there a way for on Stream Deck? Is there a way, or not Stream Deck, on Streamlabs to change the side that the chat is on?
Yes.
Like
it's in your settings.
It's in layout.
Mm-hmm.
It's in where now?
It's like
I think actually
second or third tab down.
Chat, I think it actually might be in your settings itself.
I switched
back to
layout editor.
Don, it's sad jazz in ODST. It's not
Halo.
ODST is it's one of the Halos.
It's actually the Halo that I started with.
Oh, such a good one to start. That's a weird one to start with.
It is.
Because it's not like any of the other ones.
Right.
It is not in here.
So while we're kind of hanging out, any thoughts on the this season so far?
It's pretty good.
You want to elaborate?
I'm wondering when they're gonna finish up the Dreaming City, like all of that, because they're gonna have to finish it this season, because they're gonna vault everything this season.
Right.
Because there's a couple of lore books or lore tabs that are pointing to them vaulting everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna have to wrap everything up, but they have 6 months to do it. So
that's true. And so far, the story has kind of led that direction, especially with Aldrin being kind of a Savathûn fanboy at the moment.
Well, I mean, if you think of it this way, Savathun's the only one that hasn't lied to him out
I
of
know.
everybody.
I
And
know.
everyone's like, she's the trickster, she's the liar, she's the one that lies to everybody, but she's the only one that's not lied to him. So I mean, like, what does that say about us?
Right?
Like, it's really not great. She lied, yeah, but
Aha!
she lied, but she didn't lie. She like
Omitted.
omitted. It's a lie of omission. She didn't straight out and was like, yeah, a lie is lie, but is it though? If it's a lie of omission,
I mean, yeah, it's still considered a lie when you're deceiving.
yeah,
When you're purposefully deceiving. It depends on the intent, though, doesn't it?
yeah, because it is, but she wasn't being malicious about it in that respect because she protected him. Like, I think she has a soft spot for Crow.
I think she's going to manipulate him.
Oh, she's gonna manipulate the crap out of him because he's a soft boy.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Ager and Rhaega story? Is that what it is? The
Oh yeah.
Is that based off of anything? I haven't done too much research outside.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
It's probably not directly. I mean, I would say that it's. I mean, you have like the Cherokee myth legend about the two wolves. You have multiple styles of that type of like familial mythos. You have like, I mean, even in Japan, like with Izanagi and Izanami, you know, it's
right.
that's more of a creation myth. But you have Susanoo and his siblings. They have very similar stories. There's more than two on that one, but it's very similar. The Cherokee myth with the two wolves, which I mentioned, is the one where there's a bad wolf or evil wolf and a good wolf, or a dark wolf and a light wolf, and it depends on which one you feed. You know, there's a lot of that. And I think that, you know, like Don is saying too, the main character element being a stan or whatever, that was actually called out in this week's dialogue from Mara when she was talking about being the first awoken. She actually made him that way.
Right.
So, which is really aggravating to me, because then she sits there and complains about him being that way, and it's like, yeah, but you purposely made him that way. So,
Right.
if you make something, you can't then bitch about it. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, you
I'm
can.
like, well, you can if
Well,
you're being a bitch, which,
capitalism, but you know.
I mean, Mara has definitely shown some true colors this season, I think.
Yeah.
And I am
I'm
not a
finding
fan of them.
I'm enjoying the snot out of the Awoken realm, like puzzle, like find all the things in the Awoken realm.
The
Not
Shattered
the Awoken
realm.
the Shattered, not Shattered. God
Oh,
damn
this.
It is. It's the Shattered.
Ascendant plane.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
technically. I think it's technically the Shattered realm, because
the shattered plane realm thing. Yeah.
Also, Trinity Ghoul is amazing this season.
I'm using
not
the
a fan of all of the different mods we have this season. I don't like having just one.
So this is where my approach just really helps, because I don't even use them. I don't think I have any mods put on my stuff. I just got weapons and got armor, and I'm like, oh, this works.
I like those. I like sidearms.
That's why I asked Orchid, and then I deal with the drama of her complaining, and then she tells me what to put on my armor. So
I mean, like, I'm a fusion rifle stan, so.
Oh, see, I hate fusion rifles, but I've been forced to use them.
They used to be.
It sounds like Orchid thinks flat black flag.
Oh yeah, with
yeah, they're so much better now.
Infinite draws.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, Shattered Throne. That's what it is. All right, you guys. Well, I guess there's a couple things too that I wanted to talk about. We can start the recording and then we'll talk about it. One of them is something that Green has been working on for us, and then there's a few other things too that I have that I'm working on currently that I want to talk about too. So, Green or Orchid, do one of you want to count us down for Audacity recording or for tracking?
Everybody jumps at it. Okay.
Okay. I got an open mind. Do you want us to do mono or stereo? Mono?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Mono at wave. If you do it in stereo, it's not the end of the world.
No, I'll do it mono.
I don't know how to do this. Anyways, mono. Oh,
40,000.
recording channel.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, you're gonna go. It's next to your microphone.
Right. I got that.
Yep.
But which one do what's the project
I have
rate?
my own equalizer now.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna boop my actual equalizer on my Go XLR to flat, so I'm gonna sound a bit weird on this.
That's fine.
Do you
Meh.
want it 44 1
Sorry, now
or
I sound
48?
weird.
What project
Uh,
rate do you want?
Project rate at 48, please.
Okay.
Just gives me a little bit more flexibility
There we go.
for EQ. Okay. It's Guru.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay.
Get it?
Mhm.
Ew.
All right. Countdown.
Yep, alrighty.
3, 2, 1, click.
Cool.
Yay.
All right.
Or clap if you're very
Or clap. Yeah. If we have Baxter with us. So, let's see if I can remember how to do this. Thanks to Orchid, I do have my my script up in front of me because I got yelled at for not signing off the last time.
Give me the show notes, Blue. Where are
I'll
they?
get it. I'll get it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, welcome to Focus Fire Chat, recorded live on September 11th, 2021, over on twitch.tv/FocusFireChat. As always, I want to give a big shout out to our live chat here with us. Thank you so much for joining us once again. It's only taken us about 7 months to since our last time, so we really appreciate you guys showing up. This week's episodes are going to be focused around exploring the Hitman series. Actually, we are letting Orchid explain her recent foray in her crims, I think is what we called them. Her small crims that she was performing with the can of SpaghettiOs, which we'll get into. This particular episode is going to kind of be, like, as usual, our intro session, but also it's going to be a way for us to kind of just catch up and say, you know, hey, what's been going on for the past couple months. For those of you who are in the live stream or checking this out on YouTube, you will have seen the prior recording there. So yeah. As always, let's run through a quick introduction of who all we have with us. This is Blue Crew 86. I am still the host, thanks to Orchid. Speaking of Orchid, I don't know if she's able to talk to us right now.
Hi, I'm Orchid. Otter Mom, apparently the person of small crims. They always become larger crims, and then the biggest crims. God, hi. I miss you guys so much. The most. Hi. That's it. Hello.
And then we also are joined with Green is jumping on real quick. So she is taking a step out from behind the curtain and sharing the limelight with us.
Just a little bit. It's been a busy couple of months for everybody, just in real life stuff. You know, Blue had a baby. Well, his wife had a baby. Blue held his wife's hand as she had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Orchid's
This was a true
been
statement.
committing all the crims, running DLA in the background, streaming.
Shadow dictator.
That's the best way to do it. You
Yeah,
don't get any
try.
of the blame.
It's true. It's true.
You just
Well, I mean, so yeah, actually, it has been really, really busy for, I think, all of us. As many of you know, and we kind of talked about this on the mini episode that we published earlier. I had a pipe burst in my office, and that was back in February. So it is now September. So that gives you an idea of how long that has taken to be fixed. Really fun story on the ineptitude of contractors. But that along with my wife had a baby, so we have a new little light, not quite running around yet, but definitely dictating schedules. Lots of very, very last minute schedule changes have been the case, which is why actually we are recording in the middle of the day and not Friday evening, because yeah, this was a, hey, let's do a stream, or let's do an episode. And originally we were going to do this offline, and then a couple things came together, and Orchid and I were talking, and we were like, might as well try to do a live stream. For those of you who are watching the video feed, the reason why it looks different is because Blue has had to completely reinstall everything. So about in March, my computer died and it wiped itself, and it then corrupted the hard drive, and I had to reinstall everything back, pins, and I had a very, very fun 3 days, I think that was, or maybe even a week of reprogramming my operating system. And as of a result, I basically got a new computer. Except it's not a new computer, it's the old computer, but it's a new operating system. But as a result, everything got wiped. So I've had to rebuild everything, and that's why your stream overlay right now is basically just us on Skype. And I'm not really sure I'm not really sure I don't have a problem. I don't have really a problem with it. It actually is really, it works. But on top of all that, then Green, I think I'm going to kind of turn the limelight back over to you, because Green has been pestering me to do something for a year now, 2 years now, and she finally kicked me over a couple copies, and I think we're going to redesign the logo. And
yeah,
Green has, in my opinion, knocked it out of the park. So we're gonna start kind of rolling that out with different things. I currently on the overlay right now still have the original logo. We will probably start moving that over, starting with this release. I've got to do a couple reworks on the images and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the big thing that Green has just knocked out of the park as far as I'm concerned. It was a tough gig, because I have a lot of really fond attachments to our logo, and Green really did a good job in taking that and keeping the sense of it, but actually moving it past. And that's going to tie back into kind of what Orchid and I were talking about with the last update episode, in which we're going to start kind of looking at things a little bit broader spectrum, as far as games and books and movies and TV shows and stuff like that. We're still going to be, still dealing with Destiny, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. We're going to still be doing a lot of Destiny, but it's going to be a lot more relaxed. It's not going to be as much in the weeds. You guys have, for those of you who are old hands here at the Destiny community, you know that there are plenty of amazing content creators out there who will get very far into the weeds with the Destiny stuff. Bife, Mylan, Ishtar has, I don't know if they're still doing their podcast. They do podcasts from time to time. The Lore Network has been transitioned fully over to Kaz and hit that group, and they are still doing some great stuff there. There is just tons of resources, and so we're kind of being like, I know Orchid really likes Doctor Who. We've had a lot of conversations about that. There's other games that we've played, as is the case with this entire topic. So we're gonna kind of try to follow what we really want to talk about instead of trying to stick to just Destiny, which can get to be a pretty big grind. We've been doing it I've been doing this for 6 going on 7 years now. So yeah. That all being said, I am also working in collaboration with the Destiny Armory Defined project over with Rhino, and I will be trying to work to bring some of those into an audio format, and I'm working to get them translated into something that is a little bit more of a bite size. Not really. I don't really want to call it a podcast, but it will be a podcast. It'll be on this channel, so as you guys get those, I'm going to probably be releasing them on a weekly basis. Is my thought right now. I've got to build them up, and with schedules being what they are, that's going to probably take a little while, but we are going to be using that to continue to dive into some of the lesser known corners of the Destiny universe. But yeah, that's pretty much what is on the plate right now for us. Orchid, Green, did I forget anything?
I don't think so. I think it was very thorough. That was a good list.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. That was like you had all that written down.
Did I have that written down?
I think it feels like you did. Did you?
I did not have that written down. So
I'm really
if I did, I don't know where I put it. So
Oh.
anyways.
Well, okay then.
So I guess this will give us a chance to come back to Orchid's Otterstop.
I don't even know who the person is this time. Oh, are we just leaving reviews on iTunes?
Yeah.
Am I hawking anything?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
We will be, but not yet.
Oh, okay. Then I'm just gonna say, please do us a favor and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. The correct number of stars is 5 stars. The incorrect number of stars is anything less than 5 stars. If you do, I will come for your family. I will personally find out where you live.
In line with the subject of today's chat.
Strongly worded note on a Post-it and attach it to your door. That's incorrect. I'm way too lazy to do that. I can't even be bothered to get my mail every day. So that is a very, very weak threat coming from me. I probably wouldn't even read the reviews that you leave, but I would really appreciate a 5-star review. Like I said, 5 stars is the correct number of stars in your review. Anything less, and I will be really sad. I'll take it very personally.
Yeah, I mean, as Pin says in chat, as long as they don't leave cans of SpaghettiOs laying around, they're probably going to be safe.
I do have a very good arm. I played softball when I was in school because my dad made me, not because it was my choice.
So, with that...
Oh, you can also find us on the Lore Network.com alongside many impressive lore content creators. So, there you go.
Oh, man. Okay, so with that all good paper quality as a review,
I would
Oh,
be able to tell you if it was good paper quality, for I work with paper.
this is true.
And I can tell you right now, Post-it notes do actually have good paper quality.
That is very interesting trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Good to know.
Also, glossy magazine covers have a lot of hemlock in them.
Hemlock, isn't that poisonous?
Western hemlock is really good for glossy magazine covers because it's very smooth. When
I
it's made
appreciate
into
how she
paper.
did not answer your question, Green. Isn't that poisonous? Western hemlock is really good for glossy magazines. So is it poisonous? It's really good for the pages in glossy magazines. Don't chew on them, kids. But, well, and actually talking about poison, I mean, that's a good segue into Hitman, right? I know Orchid uses a lot of subtle methods in assassinations during Hitman.
I don't know if unicorning someone with a katana is really
That was one of the best clips is Orchid's walking around the mall and randomly stabs somebody with a sword and then
hospital, sir.
freaks out because she didn't mean to kill him and then proceeds to go, just stay right there, and wanders off.
Ma'am?
That was a hospital.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
Oh my god.
That was a hospital.
That was Orchid's TikTok submission a while back, and it was probably one of the best ones ever. But so as far as Hitman goes, we are going to be focusing mostly on, I think it's World of Assassination trilogy is the most recent 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There is actually 6 or 8 games, I think. More if you count the mini mobile games. But an interesting thing about the Hitman series is, like, even though it's been going since about 1990 or 2000, I believe,
2000
it has all the games are actually building off of each other. There is one case in which there was a slight retcon, and it wasn't as much a retcon as it was they got access to a better graphics engine, and so they redid some of the missions that you could then they opened up the ability to choose things that previously it was a very linear game. But other than that was a remake on the first game. But other than that particular piece, it has been consistently clarification and building on the entire series, which is really cool when you talk about these type of games, because I mean, again, that's 11 years of work that they have not yet had to redo anything. So it is possible. It is possible to do that. Throughout the series, there have been really predominantly 2 to 4 main protagonists that are pretty consistent. Most people will recognize the first one is Agent 47, the guy who's on the cover and who you play as. The voice that a lot of people will recognize her name is Diana Burnwood. She is Agent 47's handler. We're gonna kind of dive into how this organization works in a bit. But then the 2 other protagonists that are really, really prevalent, especially in the World of Assassination or the World of Assassination trilogy, are an individual who goes by the name of the Shadow Client, and then Olivia Hall. These 2 people become extremely important, especially within, what was it, Hitman? Is it 3? Didn't they renumber? Yeah, they started numbering them again.
So the way the numbering kind of worked, they went with codename 47. There was no Hitman 1, didn't have a Hitman 1. It was just codename 47 because it was named after the protagonist.
Yes.
The first one was. And then there was Hitman 2, Silent Assassin was the next one. That came out in 2002. Contracts was the third one. Blood Money was the fourth one. And then there was a big drought of games. Then they came out with Absolution. Then they came out with a bunch of, like, weird games after that
Was
we're not
the
gonna ever
Hitman
mention
Go,
ever again.
Hitman
Yeah,
Go, and
with,
Hitman
yeah,
Sniper.
they came out with some weird mobile games because they kind of doubled down on the mobile games, and then they realized no one wanted mobile games from these games.
Especially for
So,
Hitman, because it was really
especially for
weird.
Hitman, they're like, "Do you know what people want?" They're like, they want mobile games," and everyone is like, "No, we don't. We
It
don't
was
want
very,
mobile
very
games from
similar to what,
Hitman."
very similar to what Diablo is going through.
Yeah, no. Why would we want that? I don't want a mobile game where I can throw a brick at people with my phone. No. My phone is a
Well, because
brick.
wasn't Hitman Go
So,
kind of like tactics?
yeah, it was very strange because I tried playing it on my iPad, and like in 2014, iPads were not great. Um,
I mean,
so
2021 iPads are not great either, so.
I was not gonna throw iPads under the bus, but thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Yeah. The only thing I use my iPad for in 2021 is, piano music. But that's my own fault. So 2016 is when the new trilogy kind of got rebooted by IO. So that's kind of like where we're starting, is the 2016 like kind of reboot of the franchise, but it's not even really a reboot because they continue the story, but they don't continue the story.
Right.
Because it's like it's a continuation. It's a soft reboot. It's like
Yeah, because
the
they bring back a couple of the major targets from the earlier games, but like I would say that it's a really interesting way to refresh everybody on the story because they don't contradict. Like I think it was Contracts that they redid Subject 47's story. In.
Yeah.
Because that was when, because I think Subject, if I'm trying to remember off the top of my head on this one, Subject 47 was an independent studio, and then they got basically a big upgrade for Contracts, and as part of that, that's when you started getting more of that open choice playthrough type. So that was where you kind of had that, and then with the World of Assassination trilogy, which is Hitman 1, 2, and 3, that Orchid was talking about. Obviously, technology has come a long way since 2000. So they redid all the graphics, and a lot of the AIs for the antagonist were redone as well. That being said, they still kept a lot of the core story points from the first few titles. Wow. And they introduced more targets within the World of Assassination trilogy that actually supported the story in a really, really, like, they fleshed out the story more than they rewrote it. There were a few antagonists that did kind of make their way back into it. One of them being one of the main antagonists is this professor who goes by the name Professor Ortmeyer. He is an extremely big figure within the Hitman storyline simply because he is the creator of all of the Hitman clones. Him and a few other individuals. They did some bad stuff and combined a lot of genetic material, and that's how you get Agent 47. There were multiple issues. There was Subject 6, Agent 47, and then Subjects 48, which were later. Which Subjects 48, I don't remember. Were they in the new trilogy or were they just in the old trilogy?
They were in the
because I haven't played the new trilogy.
In the new one.
Okay. The point of Subjects 48 were, so they view Agent 47, who is also known as Subject 47. They created Subject 47 as a kind of a chimera of all these different really big bad guys. And then basically what happened was Subject 47 grew his own will and was like, no, I'm going to do what I want. And Ortmeyer basically saw that and said, yeah, we need to fix that problem. So he created another copy of 47, but he nipped that part of it, and he created multiple copies that were easier to replicate and a lot easier to control, and they were just they were all coded subjects 48. I guess they just got tired of going up in number. And so he just was like, here's an army of 48. And there was I think that was in was that Blood Money?
That was Blood Money, I think.
It was either Blood Money or Absolution that you had to deal with that whole insanity. But yeah, so then that kind of led into the dry period that Orchid was talking about. And another part of this entire kind of universe, this crazy world, is the organizations that kind of control everything. The big one that we hear a lot of, especially within World of Assassination Trilogy, is the International Contract Agency, which is also known as the ICA, and then Providence. Providence is the major antagonistic force for at least the first two. The final installation in the trilogy deals with some cleaning of house that Diana goes through, and that's an amazing story in and of itself as well. In the earlier series, we had a couple organizations that kind of they kind of phased out, but they were also kind of revealed to be satellites of Providence, and that would be the franchise and then Alpha Xerox. And I think Alpha Xerox was actually a subsidiary of the franchise, which then turned out to be it basically all turned into be Providence. So you have these.
They made them into these nesting egg dolls of Providence.
Shell corporations.
Yeah.
You know how you move money around, right? So it's both.
Egg dolls?
Well, those like nesting dolls.
It's Russian
those,
dolls.
Russian
They're Russian dolls.
Yeah, Matryoshka dolls, whatever. That's what they ended up like. All these like companies that you ended up like murdering, and all they just.
You really did end up murdering.
They're all. You murdered all these companies, and they all ended up being like the main company that you murdered. You literally murdered the companies because
you basically find. You're like, hey, what's the organization hierarchy of this company? All right, let's start at the bottom and work our way up, and that's pretty much how. That's just how it worked.
Oh my goodness.
And I mean. That is not a wrong statement.
No.
That is exactly how 47 proceeded to eradicate his problems. But and I don't think Providence was really even Providence wasn't a major part until Hitman 2, right? Because wasn't Hitman 1 was that was well, you got introduced to Providence. But Providence, like, you didn't go up against the seats and the what was it? The constant. The constant.
In, like, it was dropped on you in the very last second in the last mission.
On 1, and then on 2, 2 is spent. You're hunting the constant, and then at the very end of 2 is when you kill the constant. And then 3 is insane because you take out Providence. There's the hierarchy of Providence is you have 3 partners and a constant, and no one knows where the partners are except for the constant, which is why he has to take out the constant at the end of Hitman 2. So he takes him out, and then Hitman 3 takes place basically the first fourth or half of Hitman 3. You're killing off the constants. Or the
which is essentially it's pretty the first third you essentially take them out all at once because
yes.
they're like together.
They're all hiding in the vault.
Taking them out.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they're in the bank. They're the big bank vault that they're in, and so yeah, you take out That
was a heist. That was a fun mission.
Yes, I remember. I have actually played that mission, and it is insanely chaotic, and I loved it. So you take out.
Like a bunny.
You
yes.
dress like a bunny?
Yeah, I
So-
agree, it's a bunny outfit. You can
Yeah.
dress like a bunny.
One of the highlights of Hitman is that you can disguise yourself as various stuff, and they have lots of options.
Oh,
There's a bunny outfit.
I have witnessed Orchid basically Texas Chainsaw masquerading by stealing everybody's clothes and like just going through a party and just like impersonating one person after the other.
So
just finally
you
gets to the
you
end.
basically, you know how Orchid was talking about the nesting dolls? That's what you're doing, is you're nesting as other people. I'm going to leave you with that picture, and I'm going to keep talking. So then what happens is they take out Providence in the first, like, third, fourth of Hitman 3, but then the rest of Hitman 3 is actually cleaning house on the ICA. And at the end of Hitman 3, like, the board has been completely wiped. Like, I think the only people really left standing that are prominent individuals are 47, Diana, and I think Olivia. Doesn't Olivia last until the end? I know Lucas doesn't. I know Lucas doesn't.
Oh, I cried.
I know, yeah, Lucas was... So Lucas is the individual who's known as the Shadow Client, and he is probably one of the most interesting figures in the game because he goes from being a client of 47 to then being an antagonist of ICA to then being one of 47 and Diana's closest allies, arguably. And then in the very end, he actually sacrifices himself to protect 47 because it turns out that he is basically they're basically brothers. Lucas is Subject 6. He is a clone as well. And so, but in order to protect 47, he basically, he doesn't kill himself, but he basically gets himself killed in pursuit of cleaning everything.
Himself.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah, in the cutscene, he just like shoots himself in like the bottom of the chin, and it's really horrific. And you just sit there and you're like, what?
Yeah.
I'm just like sitting there like in tears. I'm like, what did I just watch? And it was like, it was awful because like between like the first two games, what these games do that is very emotional is that they get you very attached to these characters, and you don't expect it because you're throwing bricks at people and wearing cute outfits and being adorable and doing cute murders, and then like you get very attached to these characters, and then all of a sudden all these people that you're attached to are dead, and you're just like, wait, but
Because you killed them.
no, because they're sacrificing themselves, and then you're like finding out all these like very emotional things, and then like all of a sudden you're like, but I liked you, and now you're dead because you sacrificed yourself for me. But what? And then like all these like big, like very large moments happen, and they're emotional, and you're like having feelings, and you thought you were just doing like very cute, like adorable things, and you're like, I thought I was doing like cute crims, but instead I'm having very big emotions. Like, I need a moment.
It goes from small crims that are fatal, but small, to big emotions.
As small crims to big emotions is like, that's like the entirety of the game. I had very big feels.
Chat's understanding of Orchid's summary here is, this is a very interesting interpretation of these circumstances.
I'm having real hard time like figuring out, okay, like I was getting clones, so it's got like a little bit of like Star Wars feel going on with multiple clones, but they're all like murder monsters, but all murder monsters. So it's feelings, and there's cute crims happening, and then
so it's very it takes place. Yeah, so it takes place it actually takes place in modern world. So it actually starts in the year 1999, and it actually stays I think it's pretty consistent. I think Hitman 3 actually takes place in 2020 or 2021. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's pretty consistent. So throughout the entire thing, they have this. It's very John Grisham type thing, or not
Okay.
Grisham, Clancy. It's very Tom
Yeah,
Clancy like.
Clancy.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of like conspiracy theories, or not theories, but like conspiracy programs, super secret government agencies and all this stuff. And it was actually in the middle of the series, there was this huge thing because there is an entire mission that takes place in the White House because they finally did they legalize cloning or did they ban cloning? I can't remember. It was like there was a big moment where they actually publicly said something about cloning, and then 47 gets framed for an attack on the White House, and it's a very interesting mission. But so like it's not a futuristic game, even though it's dealing with all this futuristic tech concept. It's very much a Tom Clancy-esh type game.
Yeah.
Very. The devs revolutionized the Hitman franchise, which was predominantly cute crims with big emotions. It's next-gen Hitman for Orchid now. Yes. And yes, cute and adorable are not words that many people think they would hear with murder, but in Hitman, small crims to big emotions is the name of the game.
I think it's not with Hitman so much as it's with Orchid. Small cringe.
I will accept this correction. I will accept that is probably correct. So yes, it is taking place in the world that stands today, but it's much more of like a shadow government type novel or type. It's very akin to what's the other game that you like playing, Orchid?
Which one?
Splinter Cell.
I love Splinter Cell.
Oh, Splinter Cell's so good.
Splinter
So-
Cell is also
Splinter
I
Cell
would say
is
Splinter
actually Clancy. That is actually based off a Clancy novel.
yeah.
47, I don't think Hitman's
No.
affiliated with any book series other than I think they do have a couple. I know they have graphic novels. I don't think they have any. They might have a couple novels. But yeah, Splinter Cell is full Clancy. But it's a very similar type game too. You know, you have like the option to do stealth, which I was really proud of Orchid because she managed a very, very good score on a mission.
It was the only time. Okay, I haven't ever done.
There was not a can of SpaghettiOs thrown. It was very.
Single mission correctly in the entire time I've played the trilogy until the very last mission. In the very last game, did I play a mission correctly?
I want her to repeat what she just said for everybody. She has not
I
played a
have not
mission correctly.
Played a mission correctly.
Well, okay,
as
what is-
intended.
She has
I have
finished.
Not played a mission as intended. As the game has intended you to play, I shall specify because I have played all of the missions correctly as I have intended them to be played.
Which includes
Okay.
bunny outfits and cute crims.
Right. I'm gonna need a little. I've witnessed some of this, but I'm gonna need a little bit more description of what you were doing.
As
Like,
I intend them to be played, I leave the largest body count possible. As the game intends
Subtlety.
you to play, you are supposed to be as subtle as possible and leave no bodies behind and get in and get out without being seen. As I play the game, I leave as large a body pile as humanly possible.
so what I'm
Mountains.
hearing
Mountains.
is don't piss Orchid off.
No.
At least not in a digital
just-
world.
Yeah, in a digital world, you are in big trouble.
And if you do piss her off, just make sure you don't have cans of SpaghettiOs, because that's her weapon of
Okay.
choice.
What does that mean?
the mission that Blue watched was one from Hitman 1 that takes place in Italy, and there happened to be like a kitchen that had an endless supply of like what looked like Chef Boyardee, like cans of pasta.
I literally drop
And
into
he
stream,
watched me-
and she is like chunking cans of food at people.
He watched me yeet cans of like canned SpaghettiOs like at passersby, and it happened to be lethal cans of like spaghetti.
She was
that did kill
headshotting people with spaghetti.
And so I was headshotting people with cans of spaghetti. So.
And it wasn't like to clarify here, it wasn't like 1 or 2. It was like 10 minutes of this of just, oh, I'm out of cans, go back to the kitchen, come back out.
That reminds me of like cabbage in Skyrim.
Yes.
Where you get the cabbage and you chuck cabbages at people.
Mhm.
But
Or you can stockpile it at the top of a mountain and then open your doors and it's an avalanche.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So SpaghettiOs. What other unique objects have you killed people with in this game, Orchid?
A didgeridoo.
What?
Katana.
That seems normal.
Boomerang. Wet floor sign a couple of times.
Briefcases.
Briefcases.
They lock
We'll
on.
get to the briefcase later. Yeah, you lock onto you. What else? Oh gosh.
Pretty much anything you can pick up in this game, you can end up killing somebody with. Like if it's interaction,
yeah.
like if it's interactable, like there is a way to weaponize it.
Brick of cocaine.
I want you to kill somebody with a wet noodle.
I probably could. I've garroted people with things.
Garroted? Oh, rotted? I don't know this term.
Like with a piano wire, you could like garrote someone with it.
Oh, gotcha.
As I do the thing with my hands.
Yeah, very practiced motion.
Oops.
Softball player Orchid is no longer like. That's a lot more menacing in a lot of ways now. Baseball bats, all bat.
Cricket bat.
Oh, baseball
there is
bat
a
I've used.
cricket
Bat I've
cricket
used.
bat.
Hair
You said
dryer
that. You
I've
said that, and
used.
immediately I was like, "Oh, there is a cricket bat that you can find."
I have done cricket bat. I have done. I've electrocuted many people.
Yeah.
I poisoned many people.
But she also remembered not to stir it with her
Ground them.
finger after she poisoned them.
Yes.
Wait. You can. Oh, okay. I'll take your. I'm just gonna. Yeah. Okay.
There's just there if you can dream of a way of doing. There's a lot of creative ways to do it too. So you just have to like.
Is the moose head in this trilogy, or is that in the original trilogy?
The moose
hunt-
head is there is a moose head in this, but that's in the original one.
Okay, yeah. Because there's a hunting lodge mission where you have to make it like some missions you'll be told like one of the parameters is you have to make it look like an accident, so you can like you can trap things, and there's a hunting lodge one where you can trap a giant moose head to fall on people, and a chandelier. Chandeliers are also another thing you can trap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Weird.
There's many cool ways to do it. If there are specific stories that you can follow within each one that like the replayability in these games are really neat, so you don't get the entire story. I don't know how far we want to go into it, if we want to go into that in the next part.
Yeah, we can probably do that in the next part. Because
Yeah.
the custom like the options and stuff like that. Because I think that's one of the cool like ways to get some really interesting details is you know, hey, instead of killing this dude with poisoned sushi, kill him with a knife, which is also
Actually,
another
one of the
mission too.
organizations, This is Sigma and Cicada are
Mm,
two
mhm.
of the organizations that are actually involved. There is the Sigma 6 and Cicada, and there's actually a storyline within the Hitman trilogy, the new one, that you don't get unless you follow one of the specific storylines. So, which I didn't get this playthrough because I just, YOLO'd my way through the story.
As you do.
As I do, yeah. But there is a specific way. If you don't YOLO your way through the story, which
Orchid's like, you could see her face like, why would you do that?
why wouldn't you just do it the way I do? But if you actually follow the story the proper way in the first game instead of the way I did it, there is a way to get an alternate ending where in the last mission, the when in the same one that Blue mentioned, where I yeeted a katana into someone's head and unicorned him in the hospital, there by the time you get to that by the time you get to that mission, if you've plot twist, Orchid has been killing sororities. Oh god. No, if once you get to that mission, you've been killing these Sigma people. So if you've been doing those actual storylines, you actually get an alternate ending where you can reveal certain information, and you actually get like a different ending. It's you get different
Yeah.
cutscenes, and you get
And
different
there's
information that you wouldn't have gotten
there's even an
otherwise.
alternate ending from the base game too, depending on your choice on how to handle what's his face, the final dude. Depending on what you choose to do there, there's
So
three different endings.
is
I
it
think.
kind of like Mass Effect-esque, but without as many different variables?
Kind of. So this one's called like this. I think this is called the Sarajevo 6.
Yes.
I think is what the actual plot line is called. But it's like a deniable ops.
And then we also get to talk about Patient Zero.
Oh, Patient Zero. I haven't done that one.
It's an interesting. That's another alternate storyline. That's very interesting.
Yeah, but you get all these. There are all these different alternate storylines that you can follow by, like, when you're actually in the game itself. You walk around and you hear people talking, and then in the corner of your screen, these little information keys pop up on the screen, and you have the option to follow them, and that's how you get your intel to follow the storylines. And that's how you can decide if you want to actually do that storyline to follow.
Okay.
To do that assassination if you want to or not. So I actually did one assassination and followed it all the way through to you can dress as a yoga instructor to go kill some lady, and that is a way to do it. Yeah, and that is the storyline to follow. There's a way to do it, and those are options that you can follow. It's this is an option, she's supposed to do yoga today, and you look like the yoga instructor. How about you go kill him so you can get his outfit and go do whatever. So but yeah,
I think that's the way I'd want to go. If I were to get murdered by Orchid, I would want Orchid dressed not as a bunny, but as a yoga instructor.
Oh no.
I'm not allowed to respond to that. So anyways, on the next episode, let's talk about... Oh my. Just gonna let that silence sit there for a second, and
oh my god, that's been a while, hasn't it?
So shout-outs for the introductory. Green's Desire for Death by Snoo Stew is the shout-out for me.
No one else knew that. I put that in private chat. No one else had seen that. Thank you, Blue. I missed you too, motherfucker.
Orchid's embarrassment is a welcome thing to see again. I'm glad that we've managed to break people within 40 minutes of being back on air. I feel like we've accomplished a lot. She's not fired, by the way.
You guys.
Chat. Oh. So yeah.
Fired.
Still not fired. She's tried really hard, but she's still not fired. Which I believe we had a conversation in chat earlier about that. But yeah, no, I mean the in all seriousness, shout out for you guys sticking with us. It's been an interesting year. It's been a couple of interesting years. So yes, I appreciate you guys, your patience with us while we try to figure stuff out to get things rolling again. It means a lot. It does. So thank you. Orchid, what shout outs do you have?
Shout outs to my own chat on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ASOrchid. I might as well get a shameless plug while we're talking about it.
While we're talking about me, let's talk about me.
Let's talk about me. For watching me play Hitman for as long as I have, since we're talking about it. Because it's been fun playing that game, all 3 games. Because I really needed a break from Destiny.
And that's
so
okay.
much.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Guess what, people? You can play other games.
Yeah, and I did not know I found such joy in this game. I really needed it. And it's really good. The story is really good. And the lore is super deep when you start getting into it. And the replayability is amazing. So, I mean, it's, yeah. Shout out to people who made it and my chat for being there and, enjoying it along with me. And just kind of letting me, do what I do, which is just, dress like a rabbit apparently and kill people with
or yoga instructors.
Or yoga instructors, or maids, or I've dressed like a lot of things.
Green.
I have a lot of outfits. So.
I'm actually gonna echo Orchid's shout out. It's been a while since we've used each other's handles, so it's getting back in the in the mouth a little bit. But Orchid's, I like watching. There are very few people I go and watch on Twitch anymore, and there's pretty much only 5 that I could think of at the top of my head. Orchid is generally the first one, followed by Young Con, mainly because Blue, you gotta leave me alone. It's been a while since I've done this. He's getting on to me in chat for phrasing.
I'm not talking. I didn't say anything.
I'm watching you. I'm saying nothing.
Yeah. It's been a while. But, yeah. Orchid is one of the more entertaining ones, mainly because she doesn't do anything the way it's supposed to be done. And it's amusing to watch her go through all of this and then bang her head against the wall for a while and then figure out that you could throw a can of SpaghettiOs, apparently.
Gabe can't tell me what to do.
I like it.
When you run out of ammo, you find out that you didn't actually run out of ammo. You just have to think about things from a different angle.
Yeah.
Well, as always, since I remembered to pull this up, so I remember to say it this time. Thank you for your time, and until next time, remember, with wisdom we conquer, stand strong, stand tall, and keep exploring. Green, do you want us to stop recording or do you want us to keep recording as we jump into the next one?
Go ahead and stop it so we don't have a whole lot of overhang, because I need to go to the bathroom, please.
Okie doke.
WAV.
Be back.
What episode?
Do you want it as a WAV?
Yes, please.
EL53. $53.
Fricadoo.
And let's see.
The WAV.
WAV.
WAV. I want a waffle.
You want a waffle?
Yeah. You feel bad for not seeing all of my crims, Doom? My crims are all up on Twitch. You can watch my crims still. It's not been 60 days. I should pull more of my clips before they disappear.
You should send them over to YouTube.
I should just put them all on YouTube. Not even edit it. I should just put everything on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Just dump it.
Just dump it on YouTube.
Don't do that. I want to do this. Yes, like that. Waffle.
Waffle?
What?
Waffle?
I want waffle.
That sounds awesome right now.
I know, hungies.
Waffles and chicken. Chicken and waffles.
Sounds complicated.
No, have you never had chicken and waffles?
No.
It's actually really good. It's like a southern meal style. Chicken and waffles
It's
and honey
delicious.
or maple syrup. It is really good. I was very skeptical, but it's really good. You said
I'll be right
53?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Let's see here. Export audio. That would make total sense, Pens, that they would do that after a gig, because you're hungry afterwards. Let's see here. Chicken and waffles. I was actually looking up a old classmate of mine yesterday who was a jazz trumpet player who went to Poland and now does modeling and has his own jazz group over there. It's like, all right.
That's a fun combination.
Yeah, he's a very unique looking guy, so it works out as far as like modeling goes because he's very slight.
Mm.
Let's see here. Let me make sure. Dropbox. Da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. So how's the little one?
Good. She's getting getting schedules for sleep. She sleeps a lot, which
Okay.
is unlike Minion. Minion did
Matthew.
not sleep at all.
Mhm.
So she sleeps quite a bit, and So getting nighttime schedules has been the biggest thing, because up until later last week we were pretty much just working on getting weight back on her, so we were having to wake her up and feed her every 2 to 3 hours. So the last couple nights we've actually been able to let her sleep like 4 to 5 hours, and she'll conk out and just sleep. So
Nice.
So hopefully it won't be too big of a deal to her biggest thing right now is sleeping without being held. That's her, which is pretty normal. But and it's because she was so small and light, she was able to like really, when she startles, because she was so light, the startle would actually like move her completely, and so that would wake her up. So as she's been putting on weight, that has been getting less and less of a problem.
Interesting. I wonder why that is in particular.
Momentum. When you
Momentum?
only weigh 5 pounds, it takes a lot less momentum to move you.
Sure. But just
So when
the
a
startle factor, I guess.
right, yeah. So yeah, and so like when they startle, they often like will throw up their hands, which is why you swaddle them usually. She hates being swaddled, which is it's kind of iffy. Some babies hate it, some babies like it.
Sure.
She does not. She likes being able to sleep with her hands right up against her face. But which if you're holding her, it's not a problem, because you know if she startles, you can like get her to go back to sleep. But when she's laying in the crib and she startles, it's like all of a sudden she's like, what? And it's like, oh no.
She pretty vocal about it when she wakes up?
She yes and no. She lets you know, but she doesn't like, it's not like bloody murder. It's just like she's very vocal about just everything. So a lot of times if she's just moving, she's like grunting. She's a little grunter is what we refer to her as. So like you'll hear her just periodically and it's like at first it was like, what's going on? But now like she'll cry, but it's like very rare. We have not had her like actually scream cry like ever. So it's been nice, because we know if she's crying that it's easy to figure out what she wants.
Right.
All right. And I am good to go whenever you guys are.
Okay, so let me, because the notes for advance, what are we going to go over in the advanced one?
Orchid's shenanigans.
So, Orchid story time.
No pressure, Orchid.
My story time?
Yeah.
What about my story time?
That's what this next episode is.
My story time? Oh no.
Oh no.
This should be like Orchid's tips and tricks of Hitman. How to have the most
fun. I'm completely game with that. Let's do that. Tips and tricks to understand Hitman.
If she wants to.
Nah, we'll offer a sacrifice.
I mean, tips and tricks on how to play Hitman? Do you mean?
Your style.
Oh. Well, I mean, like, I could expound for an entire hour on how to play Hitman my way.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is it the right way?
Let's do it.
No.
Let's do it.
It is the wrong way to play the game. Because you will get 0 points every single time. There is, I mean, I could pull up... Here, do you have... hold on. Jay, let me send you... Do you have my best score ever screen that I gave you yesterday? If not, let me send it to you on Discord again. I literally named it best score ever, like in my screenshot.
That's
'Cause
Yes,
amazing.
I have it.
The only
You've got some
it's the
skills.
it's the only screenshot I ever took. I also took a bunch of screenshots of people wearing Crocs yesterday.
In the game?
Yeah,
Okay, let's start recording and let's get this shit on content.
here. I'm sending those to jail.
Oh my god.
Order. Is it? Do you get like titles with it?
You get titles with
Okay.
yeah, with your I mean like I could just start the game so you can see.
Is it just
Quick
me, or have
screen
they upped the
capture.
crazy lately?
Yeah, you know, I don't know. Like here,
Up the creek.
so you can see them. Green.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Fun fact: Crocs are made like the headquarters is actually near me.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's in a tiny town called Niwot.
Oh, and then I
Thanks.
found out that there was somebody wearing socks and sandals, and we had an entire discussion about that
Okay.
last night.
Yeah, that's a. Wow. Who is the fashion designer for this game? Like, they're like want to
This
trigger.
is in one level. I was really disappointed.
Like they're
Dr.
trying to
Overboard,
trigger
too many Crocs. You were there last night when we had this discussion.
Oh my
So, you
God.
want to count us down, Green?
Yeah.
Hold on, I need to open. Yeah, I need to close this current file in Audacity. Give me a second.
God.
Damn it. I needed to make sure I saved the last one. Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, click.
Yay. Okay.
Yay.
Welcome to Focus Fire Chat, recorded live on September 11th, 2021, over on twitch.tv/FocusFireChat as we continue our discussion over the Hitman series. This particular episode will serve as what we have come to call the advanced session of the week's exploration, though honestly it's probably going to devolve into Orchid's tips and tricks on how to best play the most correct way on the series. So congratulations to those who have signed up for a deeper dive. Before we go any further, however, let's run through a quick introduction of who all we have with us on the show. As always, this is your host, Blue Crew 86.
This is Orchid. I'm so sorry for what you're about to hear.
I am super excited. This is green. Like, I am all for this. I want to hear all about just the craziness that you get into with this.
The show notes, literally, I just put in Orchid's shenanigans.
Oh God. There is a correct way on how to play the game, and then there is the way I play the game, which is the incorrect way. I'm pretty certain, since we were talking about in the last episode, and there is something I sent Blue last night, which was the screen cap is called my best score, or best score ever, because it is, I think, the only positive score I've ever gotten in the game. And the only score I've ever gotten a mission rating of any stars. Because you get rated in the game.
I want that to sink in for a moment. That this is the only mission out of all 3 games that Orchid has gotten mission stars for.
I've never been rated on any mission before. This is the only one.
So, the good news, what I'm hearing, here's the positive. I'm hearing that you can play the game, still finish them, and it's not like the scores are nice, but they don't matter. It's like, whose line is it anyways?
Yes.
Its game is exactly like Whose Line Is It Anyways, and it's just as ridiculous.
I love it.
Bunny suits included.
And it had bunny suits included. Wayne Brady is not in the game though,
That would
much to
be
the detriment of the
awesome,
game.
right?
I know. The game would be much improved with Wayne Brady.
But you know what they do have in the game? Crocs.
I want to
Orchid's
talk to
face is just.
Yeah. I want to talk to the guy who designed it. Like, why is that a choice? Like, was this a purposeful, like, try to trigger
There is a
Orchid's-
reason.
Orchid is
There's
so
a
angry
reason
looking.
Orchid committed war crimes with cans of SpaghettiOs. This is it.
I went on a rampage in that mission. Everyone who wore Crocs died that day.
You know, the next time we get together, I'm really tempted. I'm really tempted to wear a pair of Crocs.
I'm not saying that there isn't a can of SpaghettiOs with your name.
I was about to say, just make sure there's no cans of SpaghettiOs. The best part about this is one of those screenshots, the one with the dead body with Crocs, also has an umbrella that I'm pretty sure Orchid used to murderize them.
They were holding the umbrella. I actually just shot them in the face. I used a gun.
You just walked up to him.
I just point blank shot them in the face. I remember that kill.
This is gonna be that conversation where you're like, "Oh, hello. How are you today?" Looks down, sees bright orange and holy abomination.
Well, the best
What's
part is
that?
the first screenshot. They're glowing,
They're very
glowing
bright.
blue. Oh Lord. So, anyways, what this highlights is actually in the game the variety that is afforded the player, which we kind of we actually kind of talked about a little bit there in the last episode, with regards to different storylines being unlocked. So I'm not sure if Orchid necessarily unlocked any stories with the Croc massacre, but you know, you never know. You don't know until you try, apparently.
This specific storyline, this specific level was in Hitman 3, and it was actually towards the end of the game. So in Hitman 3, you are sort of taking back, like everything's kind of hit the fan at this point. You are, you're meeting like people are dying. You've Gray, who is your kind of brother in arms, sort of. That's Lucas Gray. And because you're trying to destroy Providence. Providence is the kind of big overarching group that is, we talked about kind of the Russian nesting dolls of all these groups that that IO has set up as like the big bad guys over the course of the entirety of the story, over the history of the Hitman games. And so what Hitman 3 has set up as, you are now trying to destroy like the head of Providence. And so Lucas at this point is dead. He sacrificed himself to save your life. And that is like a big emotional blow. And so you're still kind of reeling from this. And like you as the player are reeling from this. Like I really felt this as the player, and like I cried when that happened. And it was like, it hurt a lot. Like it like choked me up. And like I cried everything though. So I mean, like, don't take that as you're gonna cry when you play it, because now you know it's gonna happen. But I didn't, because I didn't know the story.
Mm-hmm.
So it came as like a shock when it happened. So Olivia Hall is kind of like Gray's hacker friend, and like your hacker friend. So 47 goes to meet with Olivia. You have to then get information. You're trying to take down you now need to take down the ICA, which is your group, because now they're trying to burn you.
Of
What?
course. You're
I know.
expendable.
Oh yeah, so they're like, oh no, like 47's gone off the deep end. So you're like, okay, well, if you're gonna burn me, I'm now going to burn you.
Wait, is it
And,
your group that's all wearing Crocs?
they're the people outside your group. So this mission is you going in to find the server to then expose all of the murders that you have ever done to the world, and your murders are plentiful because you are like the most murdery of all the murders in all of Murder Town. So
That is
Yeah,
the
to-
quote, that is the title of this episode, the most murdery of all murders in Murder Town.
Yeah. To put it in perspective, I started writing down all the like big name assassination targets in the series. I have 2 pages worth of names for 47. Like, that's just the major ones. That's not Orchid's targets. That's the minimum number.
that's the minimum. Like the big named targets are all that 47 did. 47 did all like the big cleaning. Like 47 was like their go-to guy, and that's not counting like the little targets that he had to do to get to the big name targets. So whenever they had to do the big murders, they went through 47.
Okay.
Like he was their guy. And it also turns out that he killed Olivia Burnwood's parents too.
Yeah, that
who
was
is his handler. And
that
that's
was
like a big
that was a big issue.
You find out at the end of the second game, I think.
Yeah,
You
or the
killed
that was
your
the
own
end.
handler's
No, I
parents?
think it was the end of the second one because that was around the time that
find
you
out
killed.
at the very end of the second game that you had killed your handler's parents.
Because that was what
when
set up.
She was visiting her brother's grave.
Yes,
Oh.
And
because that's
it is-
when they try to ambush 47, and
Mhm.
it doesn't go. It doesn't go well.
No.
Because that's
So-
when he got his new handler because Diana was killed,
Okay.
which leads into the whole plot of Hitman 3, because it turns out this whole thing was actually orchestrated by Diana. Like, Diana is very much playing chess while everyone else is playing basic checkers.
She's playing like Star Trek chess.
Yeah,
and everyone else is playing,
Diana's
like,
terrifying when it all the pieces are, or like all the cards are laid out on the table. You're like, oh.
she's playing Destiny over here, and everyone else is playing tic-tac-toe. Like,
And she's using all the correct champion mods.
she's using champion mods, and everyone else is sitting over here in the tower, like with their thumbs up their butts. So, like,
But yeah, no,
So,
that
please
the
tell me
reveal.
you get to kill her.
Kill who?
she brought.
No,
yeah,
Diana's good. Diana's like,
Diana ends up being good in the end,
Mhm.
sort of. Diana is she's a chaotic good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
and it which actually ends up. So Diana actually, so like in the end game, basically once you take out Providence, you have a situation where Diana is there's a period in time and where everyone thinks Diana's dead, and so 47 is assigned a new handler who he basically turns out to be a double agent, and this is where you start finding out that the ICA is actually really corrupt, which was kind of like it was you had hints all the way up, but right then is when it really gets, you see, oh no, this wood is really rotted on the inside. And so what that starts coming into effect is you start finding out that Diana and 47 have this entire plan to wipe the board, and completely they end up being a force for anti-corruption. Like, basically at the very end of everything, Diana and 47 are left standing, and I believe IO has. They have said that the trilogy is concluded, but the game is not. So we will continue seeing missions for 47 and Diana going forward. But what they have become is they are now the heads of a new ICA that is basically targeting corrupt individuals. So they find people who are abusing the system, and then they punish them. Which included with Hitman 3, which included themselves. They spent the majority of Hitman 3 is cleaning out ICA. So you kill Providence. I think Edwards is the big bad in that one.
Yeah.
He's the one that kind of like backstabs everybody, and he's the one that has the variable
Edwards
ending because he's nuts.
So Edwards is the bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
the last mission. You wake up like.
How did you end?
Diana,
did you? How did you end the game? Did you? Which ending did you do?
Oh my god! So this is how okay. So starting from the Crocs mission, let me just walk you through this because this is what I did yesterday. My mind is blown, by the way. Let me
real quick.
You through this.
Hang on, Orchid. Real quick before you start, there are two main endings that are possible. So.
There are two?
Yeah, there are two. Yeah, there are two. So I'm curious which one. I'm curious which one you ended with.
What?
So okay, continue. I'll tell you the one that you didn't get after you walk through. It depends. It depends on a choice. There's a choice that you make at like close to the very end that determines which ending you get. So you started on the Croc mission. So we had the Great Croc Massacre of 2021.
No, you have me questioning everything. I had no idea.
Which is right. Okay. You should question everything.
Oh, no. I don't even know what to do now. Oh no. Okay.
I like how there's a crisis now.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Crisis of character.
It's terrible. Okay. Croc's mission. The Croc's mission is where you are in China, and hey Bill, and you have to go in and wipe the ICA servers and expose all their secrets, and that's the Croc's mission, where everyone in China is apparently wearing Crocs on a rainy night. And I'm like, that's how your feet get smelly. Have you been in China? I have. And China is dirty. I don't know why you would wear Crocs barefoot in the rain in China. Oh my God, why would you do that? The answer is you wouldn't. Ever.
Shouldn't.
You shouldn't. You wouldn't. A, dirty. B, no. C, it is humid and icky and dirt. No. All the people who developed this game have never been there. You would never do that. No.
Okay, so Crocs, no.
No.
In China, especially, that's big no.
That's so many problems. Anyway, they all had to die. So
they all had to die.
No. So many problems. So you expose everything and you bring ICA down, and then you go to a party, and it's at a winery, and Diana becomes the new constant of Providence. She inserts herself into Providence. This is the only way. So you kill all of her competition, and she then turns you in and backstabs you. And you're just like, I'm sorry, what? And she absolutely betrays you. And she poisons you because it's the only way. And then at this point, you don't know if you're like, what? Because you, like, I know it's part of the story, but you don't really see it coming. You do, but you don't. So
yeah, 47 legit did not know that was going to happen because of what happens next.
Don't know what's going to come. So because you talk about, like, I'm going to take them down from the inside out. I'm going to become the new constant, but you don't know that she's going to turn around and then poison you. And then it looks like you die, or
Well,
at least like you're going to die.
And the reason why the reason that it's presented that she poisons 47 is because Edwards convinces her to become the new constant because he's becoming the new what is it, partner? Yeah, partner of Providence.
He was the partner. Or
Was
the lady
no, he was the constant. He was the constant that replaced the old
was
constant.
Who was the lady?
That yeah. It was the fashion show.
Yeah.
That was the end of Hitman 2. Was you killed her and Edwards took her place.
Yeah.
And then at the beginning of Hitman 3, you kill the partners, and so Edwards is moving into that, so he gets Diana to fill his place.
Right.
And then, but as he's doing this, he also is trying to sever the tie between Diana and 47. So he basically tells her that 47 was responsible for her parents' death. This is when that is revealed. And then following that revelation, Diana poisons 47.
Right.
So that's where it's like there's this like really muddled events where it's like I don't know where and 47 legitimately in the storyline 47 has no idea what is going on. Like it is one of the it's the only time that his trust and his loyalty to Diana is like fully shaken. Like, up until this point he has not doubted her at all. But then what happens is I don't know. Do you want to talk about what happens after he gets poisoned?
Oh my god, yeah. Okay, so you wake up and you are there. You're in like a weird nightmare zone, and you have these weird choices to make. And you see all the bodies that you have you wake up in a river of blood essentially, and there's all these bodies around you.
And you know, the only thing that would make this better is if they did the Metal Gear Solid route where it takes into account all the people you killed and changes. Oh my god. Metal Gear there's a level in Metal Gear Solid, I think it's Solid Snake, where you're supposed to do the same thing in this game. You're supposed to sneak through and not kill anybody. And there's a part in one of the levels where you have to go up this river where it's all the dead bodies, all the ghosts are coming, and every time you hit a ghost, you get hurt. There is a ghost for every person you killed in the game. So if you actually went through the game as you're intended, you only have 5 or 10 ghosts that you can easily avoid. But if you mowed down people, the entire river is full of ghosts, and you can hardly get through. So yes, but continue.
So you wake up in this like nightmare. Yeah, Chinchilla, it took me the same way. It took me like an hour to get through it because I played the game the same way, and the river was full of ghosts. Oh my god. I played Metal Gear about the same way I played Hitman, and about the same way I played Splinter Cell, which is kill everybody and don't ask questions.
It's so bad. It's like the one time that you're like, oh no, there are consequences to my choices. But anyways.
That was the only time I've really thought maybe I shouldn't do this.
It's pretty far into the game though, right? Like you're pretty much well at that point.
Yeah, at that point I think you're on like
after that,
because that was that like I think it's like the third or fourth villain that you're fighting at that. Yeah, that was an interesting game.
Yeah, but then at that point I'm like, oh well, I'm just gonna keep doing what I do.
Do.
Yeah, do. It's pretty much. It became a competition after that, and then
a competition like how many can I
just
kill
like,
this way?
I see Orchid just like as Solid Snake skipping through the forest. No,
it was comparing the river to my brothers and being like, why is it yours as full as mine?
Orchid's body count was higher.
No,
do what you will with that information.
You're not as good at this game as I am. He's like, oh, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not as good at this game as you. I'm like, obviously.
I win.
So nightmares.
Anyway, so all the people you've killed throughout like all 3 games are there, and there's like a river of blood that is like up to your neck, which I think it's supposed to be up to your neck. That might not be accurate, but it looks like he was gonna drown in it as he was walking through it.
Man,
That might change depending
you
on how
are
many
a
people you've killed.
scary person, Orchid.
And so then you go and he decides not to kill you, and he decides either he's going to make you a pliant vegetable or not. Lucas Gray says, you know, like, wake up, you can't like lose your brains like this. And you wake up in a lab, and you have to kind of like sneak your way out of the lab, and then you figure out how to, you know, kind of get out of the lab, and you're on a fire truck and drain, and what? And you're on a drain? I'm sorry. Yeah. And it's moving through the mountain. What?
Okay,
And
whoa. Why is that upsetting?
because you're on a moving train in the mountains, and
I'm just waiting to see which ending she got.
it's upsetting because I was not expecting it, because all of a sudden you're in this really quiet, nice lab. You're like, okay, I just woke up in this nice lab and no big deal. And I was just expecting to open a door and slide it open into the next part of the lab. And I almost fell out into a ravine because I'm on a fire truck train in the mountains, and it's snowing, and there is a ravine right there, and he's like, oh oops, like I almost died because there's a ravine, and I'm on a very fast moving train, and I'm like, I might have screamed a little bit.
I love how we're vicariously experiencing this mission through Orchids.
Yeah, I feel like I don't need to play the game at this
Nope.
point. I've gotten it.
I'm just like white knuckling my way through like the level of like going in and out of windows and like up and down over the tops of train cars while like trying to like, might have screamed at, thanks Rendell. Yeah, I totally screamed. God, like, absolutely screamed. Okay. God. So I'm like sneak snacking my way through like the entire level, like trying to get outfits, looking really cute, you know, getting the pew pew guns, and like, you know, doing the sneak snacks, and you know, doing the being cute and doing the murders and small crims, not getting caught because I actually did this level correctly. What
Is this
up?
the one that you got the best score ever?
This is my best score ever level.
Okay.
That's right.
I mean, it's
On the moving
conveniently
train.
also her only score ever level, but
Hey, don't judge. She played the game how she wanted.
It's because I was allowed to kill everybody, and that's why.
Okay, who's the guy who throws shoes? There's a movie with an Asian man who throws shoes and kills them with the
James
shoe.
Bond.
No, like I think it's Austin Powers. That's the movie that's coming to mind, but I don't know if that's it. Makes like you remind me of that guy. He takes his shoe off and he throws a shoe and it just snaps their neck. Death by Croc.
Death by Crocs. Yeah, but see, I don't want to touch the Crocs. I want to do harm to the people in the Crocs. But only in the game, not actual Croc wearing people. I should specify.
You should.
so she.
If you are wearing Crocs, I don't judge you. I'm just judging you.
Yeah.
Like from afar. Know
Orchid
that
will
I'm
get you with the
judging you.
chanceless.
I'm just judging you from here. I'm
So, anyways,
judging you.
so you get out. You
So
find
I
out that
get
you're on a
the way,
train.
I do tons of murders all the way through the train. Everyone is dead because I did a bunch of Yeah, I did a bunch of murders. Small crimes became big crims. And I should specify a crim is actually a crime, but you can't put crime like in your title on Twitch, so it became crim.
That makes a lot more sense. I never knew
So
why you did that. I
that's
just thought
why
it was funny.
became that's why it became crim. So
Crib cram.
yeah, so it became crim. Also, crim looks cuter than crime, so it just became crim. Yeah.
That works.
Also because it was small, so SMOLCRIM, small crim. Crim on the stram. Yep. So you get to the last level and he's just sitting there at his desk, just hanging out, and there's this like injectable whatever just like in the like in a container, and he's like, you can take this and like be a vegetable, and like we can just do murders together and you can forget everything. And my guy's like, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna kill you instead. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna kill you, because it's like Mass Effect, where you can like kill the Reapers or you can join them for like another bout of massacring in 50,000 years. And I'm like, no. I think we're gonna kill you now, so you can never come back. Okay, thanks.
And then it ends the same no matter what.
And then he ends up dead.
Okay, so what was the ending you got then?
I killed him. Oh, you can kill him in like so many different ways.
Yes, you can.
Because there's just like there's so many things just around, and my title of hoarder on this is because I picked up a ton of stuff on the way. So because I wanted to be ready for this moment. So I just picked up literally everything on the train, so I could
She Skyrim'd it. She Skyrim'd the level is what she did.
Okay.
Skyrim'd the level on my way. I collected everything.
Well, that's why
So
you
I
got the
could-
title Hoarder.
Sure, I had everything I needed in order to kill the guy when I got to him.
She was prepared to
then
MacGyver him to death.
Literally threw everything and the kitchen sink at him. I threw a can at him, and I threw
A kitchen sink.
No, there was no kitchen sink. I threw a can and a hammer and a screwdriver and a gun.
Did you throw the gun or shoot the gun?
Okay,
I threw
here,
the gun.
I threw
put
the
the screwdriver on the end of the gun, and you shot the screwdriver at him, and
It's like a
I did-
demented
I
game of
just
Munchkins.
Unicorned him with a screwdriver, and that's how he died.
oh my goodness.
So then you
I
got
didn't realize I could have used the injectable like on him
Mhm.
to kill him in the end. I should have done that. That would have been very
Yeah,
poetic.
so you got the ending where it then fast forwards to a year later.
Yeah. So I fast forwarded to a year later. You end up like walking. You walk to a cabin
Mm-hmm.
in Ukraine, I think, is where the train was.
Yeah, the Carpathian
Ukraine
Mountains.
or Romania or something. Yeah, the mountains. And so, like, you just walk off. The train stops like on a bridge, and
Mhm.
you just
Over a
walk off the
ravine that you
train.
open the door to.
Over a ravine that you. My
And you
God.
cause
My, like,
trauma.
anxiety heights, like, oh my God.
So much trauma.
My anxiety of being over heights, like, just.
I want to see you
I
play
don't-
Assassin's Creed. I want to see you
Oh
play
my
as
God.
Leap of Faith
Leap
everywhere.
of faith every single time just like makes me white knuckle grip my mouse and keyboard and just like could not do it. Like I've played like all the Ezio games.
I was about to say
and, like,
Ezio loved the
I
Leap of Faith.
Ezio and his leap of faith. Like
There were a couple. I'm not gonna lie. There were a couple leaps of faith with Ezio that I actually felt vertigo. Like I was like, oh wow, okay.
I've been to Florence and like all these places, and so like I can picture them in real life, and so I'm like, why you gotta do this to me? Like I've seen it. So
There's
I
no
mean,
way a
like,
haystack's gonna save you from that.
No, I know how tall like the Dorma is. Like I know how tall that is. Like you'd be dead. Like my dude.
There's,
like, the hay
Physics.
is
there's
not
a,
gonna save you. Like that thing of flowers, like you're dead.
I'm trying to remember. It's either in Witcher or Dark Souls. I can't remember. but there is a scannable item where you find a person in a white robe in a haystack right beside a tower, dead. And it's basically like, oh, that didn't work, and you just move on. Like it's completely a nod to Ezio not making the
Oh my
leap of
gosh.
faith. It's hilarious. But okay, so
Not
you got
good.
the full ending with Diana and 47 going off and basically restarting the ICA.
So they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do our small crimes and save the world. Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
that's
it
the
is
ending.
that,
That's
like,
the
that's
ending
fine
that
if
you
they
get if
reboot it.
you kill Edwards or if you inject him with the serum. There is another ending, and the other
What about
ending is 47 injects himself with the serum, and it flashes forward and it back to where he wakes up in a padded room, and Edwards, you can hear Edwards over a speaker saying, wake up, my friend. It's the dawn of a new day, and you have things to do." Which is verbatim the start of the very first Hitman game.
Creepy.
Oh.
That's the secret ending that I think I'm not quite sure if if it's a choice meter, but if you choose to inject yourself with the serum when you confront Edwards, that's the ending that you get
think
there,
you
and then you
can.
don't get the ending with Diana because
Yeah,
technically
you can choose
47
to
is
inject
back.
yourself. That's
So
really
yeah.
cool.
So yeah, but that's when I think it's Io said that the trilogy is done, like that story arc is done, but their story is not.
Right. So
and then
now it's gonna go into like the later Assassin's Creed maybe, and after the
well, and that's what
SAO,
I think Orchid and I were
Miles.
talking about this a little bit. I think from what I remember and what I think Orchid was saying is they're kind of going into more of a like a DLC type thing, like an online game, which is more of kind of where you get like the Patient Zero and the what was it, the Sarajevo 6 type things, where you have like these. They're not really alt storylines, but they're not like Patient Zero. I don't think is canonically in the overarching story.
No.
I think it's an
That
alternate.
was a DLC.
Right. And then but that's where like it's kind of like they're going to a live game style with Hitman, which will be kind of like what they were trying to do with Hitman. What was it, the Sniper and Hitman, not really Hitman Go, but that kind of contract base type thing. So they're still going to be developing stories with 47, but it's not going to be like, it's going to be in line with this new ICA, who is basically keeping the power of all the global elites that have been built up and who are now filling all these power vacuums that they've created. That's what Diana and 47. Diana is basically resuming her role as 47's handler, and I think it's pretty evident that they're reforming the ICA. Like I don't know if they
akin to it.
Yeah, like I don't think they actually call it out, but the ICA is gone. The Providence is gone. Like there is no organization anymore, but they still have, and I don't remember, was it Victoria? Did they ever conclude her story? Because wasn't
I don't think so.
she
They
was?
must have somewhere.
I mean, right. I know that there was a reference because no. She was being taken care of, Diana, while Diana was supposedly dead in Hitman 2, I think. So I think they kind of wrote Victoria was another clone, right? Wasn't, I want to say, I think Victoria was another clone that they were trying to basically weaponize, and and 47 saves her in a very Punisher way, and then she gets put into Diana's care. But I don't remember a conclusion to her. I don't remember the conclusion to her story.
So what's the Patient Zero thing?
Patient Zero was, let me see if I can find it real quick. It was a spin-off of, was it Contracts?
It was a
Trying to find it real
it was
quick.
like a cult thing. It was a DLC
Mm-hmm.
that you could do. I did the DLC for Patient Zero. I downloaded all the like DLCs for that and for Hitman 2 because I was like, I need to play more game. Give me more game. Because I didn't want it to end because this game is addicting. So the ICA had 2 sleeper agents in Italy, and so there's like there are all these they reuse all these different locations, and Italy is the place with all the SpaghettiOs.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Surprisingly enough, why wouldn't they have the SpaghettiOs anywhere else? I don't know, but that is the place with the Kansas SpaghettiOs. Who knew? So
That's a slight to Italy.
I know it's terrible. But they have all of these. They have you jump around to all these different places. It has to do with a virus, and you have to you have to infiltrate a hospital to eliminate a guy who created a virus.
Okay.
That it's called the Nabazov virus. Yeah. Because of
It
course
was a
it's very
DLC for the
complicated
original.
name.
Or not the
Yeah,
original.
the
Hitman 1.
original.
Hitman 1
Yeah.
of the World of
Mhm.
Assassin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Liberation.
So it's the guy's name is Owen Cage. He is a virus researcher, and he's the guy who actually developed the virus. And I'm like half reading this from the wiki and half like remembering it from when I played it. And so he actually like injected himself with the virus, and so you have to kill him before he infects everybody with it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to kill him, and then you have to kill a scientist who was actually like overseeing the project, but you have to get information out of him before you kill him. So it's different. Like sometimes it's not just like murdering people, sometimes it's getting information from them before you can murder them.
Okay.
And sometimes it's killing them and then like taking their face off so you can like get into other places.
Literally Texas Chainsaw.
I know. I was making a joke.
Actually,
with
that's
that
not.
earlier, but
That's
it
actually
sounds
not
more
Texas Chainsaw.
gore.
That's Leatherface. But anyways,
Whatever. I'm bad with horror movies.
it's not a horror movie.
Chainsaw.
Leatherface is not a horror movie.
Check it. Texas Chainsaw is.
Oh yeah, that was Leatherface. So in the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they combined the Chainsaw Massacre and Leatherface.
Okay, so I wasn't completely
No,
wrong.
you are correct. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the movie, is incorrectly portraying Leatherface as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Leatherface was a Kansas serial killer.
Sorry. Divergent. Over.
Yes. But yes, so you pull Leatherface.
Going
Which is
on.
funny doing that to a doomsday cult. Because...
Yeah.
But, yeah. Because at the end...
I just remember the Colorado Doomsday Cult people. I think that was the level where I killed the most people. On the best score ever screen, there is a non-target kill penalty. It's literally you keep track of the most people you killed, and that's how I did it. So I always kept track of the number of people I killed by what my non-target kill penalty was. And
what negative value did you get?
This is very important, okay? So your negative value was in relation to the number of people you killed.
Right.
Yeah, exactly, Megan. No witnesses, no problems.
One would think.
But also, I happen to be in this specific level because, like, in the level in the game, there were 4 people you had to kill. and then you had to get into a basement because this was towards the end of the actual first game. This is where you find out that Providence are the people that you need to kill. This is like the big reveal in the first game, that it's all tied together. So it was like a very big deal. So this is actually really long, very difficult level. And because there's a lot of people in this level. And this is where I found it. This is where I expounded that no one is allowed to have eyeballs but me. There are a lot of
Green is very disturbed by this fact.
There's a lot of quotes from this. No one is allowed to have eyeballs but me. Because the people kept seeing me when I was trying to walk up. No one's allowed to have eyes but me.
I might need to go. I think I hear Julie's gotten home. Yeah. Why?
Because no one's allowed to see me. Because I'm not sneaky. So, but one thing, only I'm allowed to have eyeballs. Thanks, Nudie. So my non-target kill penalty, they kept walking up the stairs. They were very easy to kill. There was just piles of bodies after a while.
Dear God.
It was a kill box.
They were very easy. I don't understand why they just kept coming up the stairs.
Also, don't come across a PvP player in games like this. Like, they kept giving me ammo because their guns would just be lying there. And they had a really good gun that they kept dropping. So they kept giving me infinite ammo, like giving me infinite ammo, and just they would just keep walking into this kill box. So
I have done a lot of episodes with you. This is the most disturbed I've been out of all of them.
This is how I play games. My non-target kill penalty in the game was negative 360,000.
How many points do you get negative for each one?
1.
1,000.
Oh, 1,000. I love her face. Is just 1,000.
Okay.
Orchid became an incidental John Wick.
It kills my dog. I wasn't gonna stand for it.
They had eyes. Obviously, they needed to go.
They weren't allowed to. They needed to go.
You're not helping. You're not helping, Blue.
Orchid Wick.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is why I didn't have a score in any of my other games.
So yeah. So that yeah. But I'm trying to see. I know there was a comment about.
Guys, I have really good aim.
With spaghetti-o cans, apparently.
No, with guns. I have really good aim.
Down a kill box, fish in a barrel style?
No, just in general, I have really good aim.
Are you talking real life or not real life? Because now I'm not
video
sure.
games, I have really good aim.
Green is getting more and more concerned as this conversation goes.
No.
No, guns. Wait, are we talking video game guns or real life? Because I have eyeballs and I'm concerned about that fact.
I do. I barely have eyeballs, but I have eyeballs. When your optometrist goes, damn, you come in for your appointment.
You gotta get those. You gotta get those checked. Orchid might come after you.
You know, I don't think I want them checked. If she finds out I have eyeballs, I am.
That they work.
Yeah.
You have eyeballs and she has spaghetti-o cans. Watch out.
Your optometrist still works on the black market.
Oh,
So shout out to those of you who have survived Orchid's wrath for having eyeballs. You're doing some solid work there. Watch your six.
Watch
your six. She's hoarding the
Let's eat
SpaghettiO
up eyeballs.
cans. Green-eyed becomes no-eyed.
Yeah. I have to come up with a different moniker.
No eyed music lover. Dwayne's like, I'm after your ears next.
Oh Lord. Mm.
No eyed silence lover.
I'm gonna. Oh man. I don't even know how to respond anymore.
So shout out to learning that Orchid is a I don't know the full clinical term for body part hoarder, but she's collecting
destroying it,
she's
whatever it is.
collecting body parts over here.
You're making it sound like I'm making some sort of like
Chat's like, here's the term
necklace out of
monster.
eyeballs.
She's got Orchid, taker of eyeballs, hoarder of ears.
You're so mean. I'm really a nice person.
I'm a really nice person. They just kept walking up the stairs. I don't understand.
They just walked into my bullets, guys.
They just walked into my knife. They walked into my knife 10 times.
Oh man. John Wick meets Chucky.
They just wanted to die.
Oh yeah, that's it. And then we collected their eyes and their ears.
What's the going rate for eyes on the black market?
$10.
That's not enough.
I don't know if it's that low, is it? Looking it up.
I could check.
I'm gonna get put on a list
Why?
now.
Yeah.
You don't check. You gotta put Tor on first. You're looking
No.
at the wrong market.
No.
Things you don't want to hear. In a
Pair of eyes. Pair of eyes is
Yeah.
roughly $1,500.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to take out your didgeridoo and use it to teach people the didgeridon'ts.
Didgeridon'ts?
Yeah.
It's the murderous murder in Murder Town.
Yeah.
So shout outs. Orchid's working on paying off student debt with eyeballs and ears.
I still got 40,000 to go, so
Hey, for $1,500 a pair, you should for 300 plus sets, you should be pretty good
shout out
there.
to the FBI, man. They listen to this podcast now, so
40,000 bucks or eyeballs. So shout out to Traumatizing Green, like we traumatized Orchid last episode.
Welcome back, guys.
Orchid, what shout outs do you have?
shout out to the FBI.
Yeah, thanks guys. Keep up the good work.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for
Green.
protecting my family. Also, thanks for listening to this podcast now forever.
Be sure to give us 5 stars on iTunes.
Yeah, 5 stars is the correct number of stars that you want to leave on iTunes for a review. Please do not mention eyeballs in any of your reviews.
Please don't.
Or the
Or
the
do.
FBI is
Or
the NSA
do.
listening.
Green, what about you? What are your shout outs?
Shout out to. I don't even know, guys. It's
Megan's got the right idea. 2.5 stars per eyeball.
what if you have 4 eyes?
eyeballs.
Then we
If
get a
you're
10-star
gonna lick
review.
me, then please leave it in a language that we can understand and not in Elixir. Or if you're going to leave any review, say Velasque. I will understand that.
In
That
what?
is an acceptable thing to put in a review.
So yeah. With that, I want to thank you for your time, and until next time, remember, with wisdom we conquer, stand strong, stand tall, and keep exploring. And keep your
Insect-like
eyeballs.
chittering.
Insect-like chittering intensifies.
Eyeballs.
Eyeballs.
Why? Okay, so the reason why I have issues with eyeballs is because I have a cousin who used to do the weird touch your eyeball and move it thing.
Mm-hmm. Like this?
Just do don't.
I love how Orchid and I both are like...
You too. Fuck both of you.
I love how immediately Orchid and I both are. Jeez. Oh, like this?
We missed you guys.
I miss you too. I think.
I hate you all.
Uh-huh. Good
We're
job.
catching up on all the harassment that we could have been giving each other.
It really is. I feel like it's just been months and months of just buildup of not talking to each other.
It is.
Yeah.
So when do we want to do this next, guys?
I will let you know when I'm free.
Okay.
Nah.
Can we? I know we recorded both intro and outro on this, but can we split this up into 2 weeks and just do once a week for a little bit to give you a buffer?
That's fine. That's fine with me.
You're okay. I eventually it would be nice to get back to doing twice a week, but I think for now, just because it's going to be a little bit more sporadic, it may be better for everybody involved to not have to feel like we're cramming.
Yeah,
No.
no, that's fine with me.
Okay. What you bouncing for?
Nah, I felt like it.
Okay. I just see it out of the corner of my eye and I get concerned.
Nah.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
Veru has... Veru has the correct point. Nugget is the new manager of FFC for right now.
She really is. She really, really is. And that's okay.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, it's just... That's why nights don't really work right now, because I'm pretty much doing all those from like 8 p.m. to about 5 a.m. I'm on duty there, so...
Duty.
Mm-hmm. Thankfully she sleeps, but...
Yeah. Next weekend I am doing a videoing conference of this event for a children's cancer nonprofit.
Oh, cool.
So I'll be in Denver and not here at that time. So other than that, besides getting my brother's business off the ground at some point, I should be pretty open, especially on like Saturdays.
Okay.
I know you normally stream at this time, don't you, Orchid?
I stream at 4.
Okay.
Ish.
Okay. As long as we're not like taking up your time on that too, you know?
No, you're fine.
Go. All right, I have to actually run because I have to give Anna a break. She was kind enough to give me, 2.5, 3 hours. So, Gotta see what everyone's doing there. Yeah, she just texted me. Yeah.
Oh,
So
do you
we'll
have a
get this.
Dropbox for these streams?
It Jay dropped it in.
Oh, there it is.
One of
Found
the
it.
chats. Yep.
So, stream.
so-
I will see you guys later. Orchid Green. I will probably chat with you later today. But yeah, thanks everyone for patience.
Bye.
Bye, stream.
Bye, stream. Love you. Bye.